Built-in obsolescence ensures products have a finite lifespan, making sure us consumers keep consuming. Cars will rust, computers will stop supporting the latest software, and smartphones that work perfectly just become unfashionable. By the end of this podcast, our resident business consultants will have you thinking about a facet of your organisation that needs updating. Don't believe me? Then please keep listening before this MP3 is made obsolete by MP3.1. Hi Heidi and hi Brent.
Hello.
Hi.
So we're all becoming obsolete, is that the deal?
Well, I think it's good to review for yourself obsolescence, whether that's of these sneakers really need to be thrown out.
See, when you're talking like that, I'm instantly thinking of technology. Is it just technology that becomes obsolete?
No. We are in such a period of change that I think it's really worth taking a closer look for what's becoming obsolete very quickly.
Okay.
Have you considered what purpose the FAA fulfills? Just as an example, certifying airplanes. Are they fulfilling their purpose, and are they still up to date with what they do? How about the FBI? How about how we defend ourselves against crime? There are some very interesting organizations that Brent and I have both worked closely with in Washington, D.C. that were all developed as a reaction to 9/11.
Okay.
And I think that it's worth asking the changes that we implemented after 9/11, are those organizations and are those tactics still relevant, or have they become obsolete?
Okay. You're saying that all the agencies that were put in place not only to monitor threats from abroad, but also within the United States, are now obsolete?
I would think that it's at least worth asking, has the mission shifted?
Okay.
There's an old statement from the military that generals always prepare and practice to fight the last war and not the next war.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and let's take as an example TSA, the fun organization that makes us all take off our shoes. Due
Yes.
to one shoe bomber who was unsuccessful in Detroit in 2002?
He was unsuccessful. He did nothing, caused no damage, but we all still take our shoes off for him. Talk about an impact of an individual's actions.
Yeah.
The entire world takes their shoes off because of one individual. It's pretty impressive.
That's more than a Kardashian could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an impressive success rate in its own warped way. If you really ask probably 9 out of 10 Americans why we have TSA and why TSA functions the way it does, they would probably say, because of shoe bomb threats. And you really have to look at that and say, is that a mission statement that's still happening? And we have hundreds of policies based on that, and we have millions of dollars spent on that.
One failed shoe bomb attempt and we're all taking our shoes off. Countless school shootings. Nothing's changed.
When we walk into an organization or we're called in to help them, we look at how long have you been doing something and does it still have purpose? Because there are many processes in many organizations that it's the way we've always done it. We just still do that. Jim over there at the desk, he schedules conference rooms. That's what Jim does.
Right.
Why does Jim schedule conference rooms when everybody can do it on their computer? Well, Jim's always done that. That's what Jim does.
That's Jim's job.
If you want Jim to continue to do that, that's fine. You may have a process that you think is important for whatever emotional reason, performance reason, whatever. But asking the question, is this still valid what we're doing?
Right.
Is there still purpose in this?
Are you looking at how they might manufacture or sell their services, how those services reach the customer? Is it sort of a multi-pronged look at traditional over the new, as it were?
We like to use the statement with clients, are you relevant? What makes you relevant?
Right.
And when you start asking that pointed of a question, is the TSA relevant? What do they contribute to us? When we ask, are your products relevant?
Right.
Are your processes relevant? That's not if it's good or bad, it's does this make a difference?
And I know you just give the example, Brent, of Jim. Can you think of any other real examples?
One process that was looked at in the 90s was the New Jersey Turnpike. The New Jersey Turnpike, the tolls they collected was enough to pay the toll collectors and the administration of the tolls. That was it. There was no profit involved at all. And what came out of that is they were really the impetus for the invention of the Easy Pass, of the automated toll process.
Right.
Because they realized the ideal of a toll road is to create revenue so we can improve the roads. For years, they made no money. All they made is enough money to employ people.
Just broke even.
So they took that as an opportunity to say, how can we change the process here? What can we do? Now, pretty much anywhere you travel in the Northeast, there are no toll takers.
No.
Either they take a picture of your license plate, you have the Easy Pass automated toll pay without human interaction.
And if you're buying a pass, you're giving them money in advance of spending it.
Yep.
Yes.
And that model's been used by Starbucks now.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. Give us your money before you spend it, before we give you anything.
We will bill you later, but we want to have your money now.
I'm sure there's some stats somewhere that tells us how many millions of dollars are sitting on Starbucks cards to a value of 50 cents or where no one's ever going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would, if we go back to this statement of obsolete, and we're at Starbucks, and Starbucks is everyone's favorite whatever.
Yeah.
There will come a day, 5 years down the road, maybe it's 5 months down the road, where Starbucks becomes obsolete. And I would really challenge that it's an interesting discussion. If you want to have, say, a lunch and learn in your business around the topic of obsolescence, start off with the question of, what is the value of Starbucks? What value does it provide?
Yeah.
I can tell you when I was working in Washington, D.C., the primary value of a Starbucks was there was always one walking distance to a client. So I would meet my team at Starbucks before we would go to the client so we could group there and then enter the client facility together.
We've got one right next to the school, and I'm very friendly with the staff that work there. But you do see every type of pension, insurance, salesperson. That seems to be their office.
Yep.
And I'm sure someone who runs shared spaces like WeWork or Galvanize, they must have been in a Starbucks at some stage and thought, hang on.
This could be the idea for. And that, for me, is truly this question around when something becomes obsolete. Keep reviewing. What are you actually used for? What's your purpose?
Right.
Well, and has technology moved on? The death of Blockbuster was streaming. First, it was DVDs, which were cheaper for Netflix to mail you a DVD without the cover. Blockbuster stuck with the VHS, and then they started offering DVDs also. But they weren't going to deliver it to your house.
Yeah.
See, and I think I've mentioned this in a previous podcast, but I have no sympathy for Blockbuster. It's not like Netflix were called Postflix. Net. Internet. It was obvious from the get-go what they were going to do.
Where they were going. Yeah.
They stuck it in the name of the company. You didn't need to be Nostradamus.
But that's why I stick with the statement of review regularly for are you obsolete? We're still taking off our shoes at the airport for no reason.
Well, my flared trousers are not obsolete. They're retro and trendy.
Well,
and probably flammable, but that's another topic.
I think it's amusing that we're taking our shoes off, yet they're doing a full body scan of us.
Oh.
Why are you not picking up my shoes also?
We all know as we go through that pain in the you-know-what at an airport, there are easier, more automated ways of doing that.
Yes.
So what have we got on the cards next week, Heidi?
What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
You're back on my flared trousers, aren't you?
Might be.
Well, I look forward to finding out next week. Thank you, Heidi, and thank you, Brent.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Talk soon.